YouTube, how you doing? Shank here, bringing you another video in the series. In this video, we are going to be focusing on editing, and with that, we are going to be downloading a program called Davinci Resolve. So I'm going to go to Google, hit Davinci, it's going to hit Resolve, and then we're going to hopefully you get the same top link, but essentially it's this web address right here, blackmagicdesign.com. I'm going to click on it. Now, this is they have a paid version, but we are going to be using the free version because I'm putting this to an audience that is maybe a 15-year-old kid who wants to start making YouTube videos. So here we go, Davinci Resolve. We get a whole bunch of different ones to select from. This is actually good because they used to have the Davinci Resolve 15, so it looks like we just now have the 16. So okay, well that's embarrassing. I should have went with my gut and did just Davinci Resolve 16, okay? As you can see here, maybe I was blind. I don't know. But this is the one that I told you to download first, is the Davinci Resolve Studio 16, which is $299. We're not paying $299. We want that free version. So we're going with Davinci Resolve 16. Download. Start the whole process again. Oh, and that's why. See, we don't have that download now here. So again, we're going to go through this. None of your business. Email. All right, so now that we have, we're going to register and download. After we put in that fake information, it's going to prompt us for that. I'm actually going to delete this and this folder. Hopefully you do not have that already. So I'm going to save that. So I'm going to cancel, re-download, boom. So now that we are downloading now the free version. I literally just went through that, which you're not going to know because I am going to cut it out of this video. But I just installed the Resolve Studio and then got hit with that paid version. They wanted $300. I'm not giving them $300. This is for kids. Free. So once this is finished downloading, we will extract it, which I'll show you. So everything should go in this lower left-hand corner, show in folder. It is done downloading. We're going to right-click, extract all. This is where it's going to be extracted to. Hit next. And then once it's done, it will open up there. We're going to right-click or click on it. It's going to pop up with a user account control request. Come on, baby. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. There we go. We're going to hit yes. Now, you may have, this is saying in order to install Resolve, you must install these components. So I already have the 3 that they want, and then they want Davinci Resolve panels, and then this. So the ones checkmarked are what you need to install. You can check to do this one, and if you want to do that one also. You do not need the SQL. I think that's just for like a project server. But yeah, what shows right off the bat for you checkmarked is what you have to install. I have not messed with the Studio utility. Actually, I'm not even going to do that for this purpose. So what I need is Davinci Resolve panels and Resolve 16.00.060. Install. So this is going to go through and basically install things. You're probably just going to want to hit next, next, next on everything. I will speed this process up. So right here we have the wizard. We're going to hit next. We're going to hit yes to the license agreement. And this is where it's installing. Okay? Here we go. Install. All right, is that finished? Installed successfully. As we see on our desktop, we have a project server, which we don't want to mess with. I'm actually just going to delete that. Then we're going to hit resolve. You may have had a prompt to, especially if you had to do the redistributable, the .NET frameworks, it'll prompt you to restart your computer, and then you would do that, and you'd be good to go from there. So this is asking us, our firewalls block some features. I can tell that, it's coming from this directory, which is the Davinci Resolve directory. I'm going to allow access. So we're loading it up. Have another Fusion script. We're going to allow access. Alrighty, so we are at the main screen for Davinci Resolve. We have a untitled project right here. We could right click it and apparently can't rename it, but we could just click on it for untitled. And then here is our main, I guess, graphical user interface for Davinci Resolve. So what we can do here, okay, what we first want to do is import our media. So you're always going to be starting off or want to start off in the media pool right here. As you see, it says no clips. It says add clips from media storage to get started. So what we're going to want to do there is import media. It also has a Control-I feature here. So we're going to import media. I'm going to go to where my videos are. So we did that recording, I believe. I actually have one here, but again, I also had that recording I made in my platter drive under recordings. But for gameplay, we're going to go back to my videos directory, wherever it went. There it is. We're going to import that. So what we're having here is the clips have a different frame rate other than the current project settings. So that clip I actually had recorded at 60 FPS, which probably this default project is probably at 30. So yes, I want to change that. Now at this point, this clip is in here. I'm going to take it. I'm going to drag it on what we call the timeline. And from there, we can see I have my video as labeled video on here. And then I also have a couple different audio sources. So this was actually taken from when I was streaming. So, and I was probably had music video playing too. So I could choose to, if that was on audio 5 and I don't want to hear it on the YouTube portion, I could mute that. So again, quick high level overview of what you can do here. You can go through it. You can scrub it. You can do the playback by hitting play. Hit spacebar to stop playing it, spacebar to play it again. Now, maybe I get to a point where I don't, something happened here, or I don't want people to see, or it's just boring, or, gameplay videos, there's boring parts. So your main toolbars are up here. Now, the main thing for starting out is your selection tool, which is A, or you can click on it, and your blade tool. So, or hit B for blade. And you can see which is highlighted based on the red. So let's say I don't like this, and then I don't like it from here. So I cut this portion, and to get it out, I can select it. I can delete it. So I just deleted that by cutting it, by using the blade feature. So blade, boom, boom. Let's just say it was boring, or some kid was in party chat was being obnoxious. I don't want YouTube to hear. I can delete it. What can also happen is you can move it. Okay? Let's say, really not a good example here, but maybe you want to do like an overlay or something. You could import that overlay over here. But again, maybe we just want to delete this portion right there. So that is like the main functions of editing a video, selecting and then cutting what you don't want out. Again here, so let me import that other piece of media. So I'm going to right click, import media. I put that in my D drive, recordings. There we go. So again, I can add this, okay? And here's kind of going back to that overlay. So again, it's from like a top-down structure. So video 2 is going to play over video 1, okay? So as you can see here, as I'm going through the timeline, I'm playing, and then once it hits that video, all my audio from this, my main track's playing, but also this is overstepping it. But maybe I want to essentially hide it or something. Okay? I'm toggling it with this icon right here to hide that clip or not. And then from there, you know, and that could be just maybe a simple clip, like a transition piece that you have, like, you know, 1 moment later from SpongeBob or something, and then it goes into a different transition. So I'm going to just delete that from there. What else is there for quick and dirty playing? So let's say, okay, I have multiple clips like I just specified, right? So let's just say that from right here and right here, these are 2 separate clips, or I want to transition from here. So I can go to my effects library up top here, and we can go to video transitions, and we have a let's see, a blur dissolve. Let's just do a cross dissolve. So I drag this here, and I drag it between these 2 areas. I could have it fade in from there. Let's just do it from the middle. So from what we see here, we'll play it. That really doesn't do much because it's essentially the same timeline. Let me go to, we got a little froze here because it's rendering. Okay. Now it caught back up, so I'm going to, let's see, is there any difference here? Actually, let me delete this. I'm actually going to put this in here. So here's that kind of that 2-clip example. So that's just like a hard transition there, right? So let's see what this cross dissolve does. So that's adding that effect, and as you can kind of see right there, it's not as hard. So I'm going to play it again, and it kind of just gradually transitions there. See how that goes? So those are kind of the cool things you can do with transitions. Let me delete that. Let's do like a push. Okay, let's see what this one does. There's so many different things you can play with here. So it's, okay, so now that's a different transition. There's also text, like lower thirds if I want to put, you know, let's actually put it here. And then we will, let's see. So if I double click on that, that's where I edit the title. So let's just put Shank 0. Color is going to be red. My size is that. I can choose my font, whatever. And, you know, that's just going to go from there. So when as I do that, boom. As you can see, there's that lower third, or essentially a title. So essentially what you can do here is you can just, you know, put whatever text you want in there, stuff like that. What else can we do? You know, 3D. Let's see what this one is. First text controls. I don't know what this is all doing. Style text. I don't want any of that. So there we go. So again, I don't want to get too crazy into this, but for being a free piece of software, you can do some cool things with this. And I would say, you know, effects library, play around with what you want to in it. You also have a couple other things. You know, your audio FX, maybe if you have noise in the background, and maybe we'll go into this deeper in other videos on how to use all these. But you know, these are things you can also YouTube, you know, if I want to remove background noise, or, you know, if I have a hum or something like that, these are things you can use. You know, if you're also the audio transition, you know, anytime you use a video transition, you should probably use a audio transition of, you know, a crossfade, you know, so it's going to, same thing, it's going to lightly transition. So it's not like you're having one guy going from silence to some guy screaming at the top of their lungs in the next clip. You don't want that hard transition. You want a gradual transition. So the last thing I think we're going to do here is how to export. So I'm going to go to our media pool. And I'm sorry, I actually use Premiere, so this is a different thing. So as you can see at this bottom here too, right? We have media, we have cutting, edit. I don't know what the Fusion is myself. But again, as you learn these, as you gradually get better at making these videos, these are things that you're going to want to, you know, start playing with. So essentially, starting out, stick with the media. And then you can go back to your, you know, your cutting. And then I guess to get back to that home screen that we were at, I'll show you how to do that. But essentially what also we want to get to is this deliver panel, okay? So the deliver panel, as you can see as it right here, is our what we want to export the video as. So we can do custom, which is fine. I'll probably just do a YouTube 1080. That's probably simplest for you guys. So we're going to put blackout montage as the file name, and then we're going to choose a location to where we're going to export this to. So to do that, we're going to hit on browse. I'm not going to want to save it to my smaller drive or my SSD. I'm going to want to save it to my platter drive, and I'm just going to put video exports. I'm going to save it. It's going to save it as a .mov. The resolution is 1080p HD. For YouTube, you could put this whatever. I'll put it as MP4. Audio, we'll do one stereo and stuff like that. And you even have the option to directly do it to YouTube. I'm sure that's probably going to want your username and password and stuff, but for now, we're just going to add it to here. So this is essentially all you have to do for YouTube videos. And you have a whole bunch of different options. But again, for YouTube, we'll just do this. And then we're going to have add to render queue. Now, once we see here, added it to the right-hand side, and then we're just going to want to start that render. So hopefully this doesn't take too long, but as you can see, it's scrubbing, it's rendering in process. It looks like we got 2 to 3 minutes going back. Alrighty. So as we can see here, it has completed in 1 minute and 59 seconds. It exported to D drive, video export, blackout montage. Oh, and it's nice, so we can right click right here, open file location. It's gonna pop that open. I can play it. There's that thirds or whatever the hell it was I created there. And then there's that text as I'm skipping through here. And then there's that transition video too. So with that being said, it's the same process we did in the previous videos. We simply have the video here. We can go to our YouTube account, which I'll bring that window over here. I'm going to sign in. Sign into my YouTube account. I'm going to hit this arrow up here, upload video. I'm going to select the video I want to upload, go to my D drive because that's where I saved it, video exports, blackout montage, and boom. We're uploading a video. We've already went through how to do this portion. So with that being said, guys, I think this is 3 videos. We've demonstrated how to create a YouTube account, how to start recording YouTube videos, and how to edit your videos. I'm probably going to do a follow-up video on how to do stuff with more in-depth stuff like OBS and capture cards for wanting to record console stuff. But I think this is a basic, high-level overview. I mean, this is by far not in depth on what you can do here. Once you guys start making videos and get to that point where you want to learn more, I definitely recommend going to searching a guy on YouTube called Eposfox. Probably butchering his name. I apologize if you ever see this video. But again, here is his channel. He has a crazy amount of reviews, as well as instructional type stuff on how to use OBS, how to use Davinci, setting up hardware and stuff like that, which maybe I'll get into. But again, I wanted this to be a quick and dirty series, high-level overview on how to start making those videos. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that little notification button so you know when I do upload a new video to this series. With that being said, thanks for watching. Goodbye.